Hello, hello, hello! Welcome, well met! I didn't quite hit the button on the mic. Hi! I got a new setup, and everything is janky! But hello, hello, hello! Welcome, well met! I'm Leo with Theodosia, and today we are playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and I am trying not to freak out. Because... oh gosh, that's way too loud. Hold on. Where's my volume? Is it okay right there? Okay, I'm good. I think I'm good now. So there's gonna be a lot of hiccups and little fixes. I hit start stream and it told me my graphics drive was not good. And I'm like, what do you mean my graphics drive isn't good? So I got that fixed in like 3 minutes and I'm like, ugh. So if I'm a little frazzled today, that's why. This is just the long and short of it. Today I'm a little frazzled. Hello, Margaret. Thank you for coming. Also, because we got an update. I'm able to move around a bit more, so the tracking is as high as it can be. If there are any hiccups, please absolutely tell me as polite as you possibly can, because I might miss something or whatnot. I've been going back and forth from my old PC to my new one, trying to make sure I have all the settings. It's been fun. But okay, that's why your little VTuber here is a little frazzled. So give me a little bit of leeway, please. Anyway, oh, you know, I just realized I also still didn't do. But yeah, there is. Oop, let me do this. So if there's like a little bit of weirdness or anything, was it this button? Nope, not that one. I just realized, I'm like, I didn't cut off the bottom here. You guys don't need to see that. So yeah, there's gonna be differences. There's gonna be changes for better or worse. Hopefully better, but if it's worse, tell me. Okay, now that I'm not trying to, like, grab the little things, let's actually get into what you clicked on the video for, and that's Ace Attorney. If I click this, nothing's gonna break on me. I'm so worried now. Okay, wait, let me do this quickly. Okay, yeah, we're good, we're good. I can click on this and no problem. Wait! Oh, this side is still, I need to fix chat over here. That's not, I fixed it after movie, copying it over here, so this one is still a little janky. Hold on, excuse me. You saw no things! Meesees saw no things, right, Meesees? Okay. Oh. Oh! I dropped my controller. I just realized I didn't set up the sound for this. But it should be... yeah, it's on. Oh. I can't hear it. You guys can hear it. Hold on. Where is it? This one. No, we're doing both, because I would like to hear. Okay, I can hear now. Thankfully I picked that up. Okay. Yeah, this is good. I need to turn it down a little bit, though. I forgot about the audio again! Ah! Oh, there's so much screaming. Oh, you know what? I'm kind of blocking the... let me scooch over here. There, now you can see... okay, my sleeve is kind of blocking the thing, but that's okay. It's mostly see-through. Alright. Oh, geez, sorry for all the scuff, but it's been a day already. Yay! Okay. Let's see. Quick little recap. We just did all the investigation stuff, so we have all of our... I should actually reacquaint myself with our clues. Right, we got the newspaper talking about the Great Exhibition. Hello, Grandma Iris! And on the back it has about Van Ziek's getting attacked with his weirdo assistant there. Hello, weirdo assistant. Also, Van Ziek's is totally wearing a top hat. I'd click it, but then Ryonosuke and Susato would probably... no, not Susato. Susato's not here right now. It's Iris. Little Iris. We got an experiment sketch. Cool. Yeah, we got this piece of green cloth that has rubber on the inside, and it's also been clearly singed. And we got this thing, which is also clearly a crossbow, if you ask me. I remember finding this in the first game, and I was staring at it, I'm like, why does this seem so familiar? Why does this look familiar? I don't really know contraptions all that well. Why does this look so familiar? And then I like viewed it from this angle and then I'm like, oh, it's a crossbow! There's where the bolt goes. And then like these two are like, what is this? I'm like, it's a crossbow! It was driving me nuts because I'm like, wait, shouldn't you guys know what a crossbow is? But okay, so that's our evidence. Good to know. All right. Oh, jeez. I need a drink already. Of water. I know some of you needed that glare. All right. Let's see. We are, let's see, Ryunosuke. Ryunosuke. Can I do? Okay. I can't believe it's been 6 months since I was last allowed to work in court. So like took a breath and I got like a fuzzy on my nose. Okay, that was annoying.
And now here I am, back at the Old Bailey.
Hi, Harebrayne. Oh, jeez, right. You're very snappy in your movements. I forgot. As simple as that was, that kind of startled me. Oh boy. Ah, Mr. Naruhodo.
Good morning, Professor Harebrayne.
I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. What doesn't? The atmospheric pressure in here is off the charts. I've never felt anything like it. It's crushing me. Is it?
I feel it every time I'm here. That gravity.
Well, this is Britain's highest court. But are you telling me it's fitted with some kind of device that can actually control air pressure? Do we even have that in modern day? I think. Yeah, because we have pressurized... Yeah, we have tech to do that. Not in your time, though.
I think it's probably all in the mind.
Ah, yes, well, you won't let me down, will you, Mr. Naruhodo? I'm counting on you in today's trial to save my life! Okay. He's making a lot of interesting faces. To save the secret of my super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine from being made public.
Yes, I understand. I know what I have to do. I have to establish that the explosion 2 days ago was something more than an unfortunate accident.
Well, I'm sure there's nothing to worry about. Really, justice will prevail. I mean, we do have Van Ziek's on the prosecution. I don't think he's gonna charge you with anything more than they have evidence for, so... I think we're gonna have to worry about other witnesses, because there's definitely gonna be other witnesses. This was on a fairground, there's gonna be other people. This is gonna be fun. Who? I don't know who this is. I'm gonna read it normally. I would guess Van Ziek's, but I'm... Oh wait, no, this might be Shlom's. I was looking over the what to expect today, because I usually look that up just so I have some idea of what's going on. Mostly because I'm trying to figure out what to title the videos and stuff like that. Trying my best. But no, this is Shlom's. This is Shlom's. Right here, your style for this character. Yeah, it's pretty good. He's like a little dandelion man. I'm kind of, I wouldn't call him dandelion man now. Doesn't he look kind of like a a yellow dandelion? At least I think so. Oh, hold up. Oh, right. Shlom's. This is probably Shlom's. Is he calling Mr. Naruhodo? He said case. Yeah, it's probably Shlom's. My commiserations, Mr. Naruhodo. You appear to have been lumbered in with a most tiresome case here. It is Shlomes! Yay.
Mr. Shlomes, I didn't expect to see you here.
And we immediately get Shlomes' theme. Iris!
I was very mean, Bruno, leaving me alone at home with Hurley. It took me at least an hour to wake him.
He's losing his mind. Oh boy. Ooh, there's something blinking a bit too much, I noticed. Let me... Ooh! You said no things! Where is... Stop making me blink so much. That's the thing. Ah. Like, let me adjust some things, because I'm noticing things now. I'm like, let me fix this. Okay. Okay. Is it... Are you... Herlock Shlomes? Yes. Yes, he is. Indeed, sir. I am he. Herlock Shlomes. Stop goofing off. Actually, please goof off. And I'm just gonna be, like, adjusting things in a bit. Sorry. Literally, new PC, who this? Oh, I heard all about your exploits, even whilst I was living in Germany.
Ah yes, Rand's magazine is on sale in Germany too.
This month's installment was sublime. Your deduction in the adventures of Silver Blaze was wonderful.
Ah yes, a memorable case indeed.
It concerned a snake, I seem to recall. That feels wrong.
No, that was the speckled band. Well, thank you for coming. I do appreciate your support.
Yes.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, my dear fellow, but I'm afraid I can't stay. Oh. I've urgent business at Madame Truspel's. You mean your waxwork job?
No, the waxwork deduction, of course. Madame has engaged my services.
Ah, so you're trying to get to the bottom of that ransom note, are you?
The week's wages depend on it. And as for... Yeah, okay. Take two. The week's wages depend on it. As does the safe return of the waxwork, naturally. As such, I intend to give it my undivided attention.
Oh, well, never mind then. I understand.
Of course, with my skills of observation and reasoning, resolving the matter will be as easy as proverbial pie. I shall return forthwith. For until I solve the case, I shall have no money to afford a pie of any description.
Oh, then you must absolutely give it your full attention, Hurley.
Quite, Iris, quite. But life is riddled with irony, you know. Whenever I give something my full attention, I have a quite insatiable desire for a pie. One of the universe's intractable mysteries? Like, not trackable? Eh? Okay, one of the universe's intractable mysteries, you might say. Oh yes, quite, definitely, absolutely, I totally understand. He's starstruck. Ah.
Is someone a little starstruck?
Absolutely starstruck. I wish you the very best of luck, Professor Harebrayne. Oh, why thank you. Before I depart, Mr. Naruhodo, a word in your ear, if you please.
What's this about?
As you have remarkably little grounding in science, I feel I ought to inform you. As
compelling as a super high voltage instantaneous kinesis hypothesis may be, a practical implementation, such as was attempted by the professor at the Great Exhibition, is quite impossible. But the professor said the demonstration was a success. Yes, it would appear that he fervently believes it was. I've read Professor Bunnybrain's paper about it too, Bruno, and I have to say, I'm sure it can't be done. It could barely be done theoretically, let alone practically. So he's completely barking up the wrong tree. But how could an experiment that had no possibility of succeeding, in fact, succeed? That's contradictory. And that is the contradiction that will be at the heart of the trial, I've no doubt. What's that supposed to mean? It means Schlums knows more than he's letting on, as per usual.
You cannot tell me otherwise, that this man knows more than he's letting on. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this man plays the fool. I believe I said that before. Anyway. Now, I must hurry along. I wish you the best of luck, my dear fellow. See you later, Hurley. Bow. I love his little bow. He always does that little flourish. It's cute.
Well, it looks like you're on your own today, Bruno. But chin up. You can do it. Oh, what about you, Iris? No. I'm afraid I can't help. I have something I need to do. I see. It's going to be a big surprise for you when you find out what it is. Ah, that sounds ominous.
Oh, bailiff. Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court is about to be in session. Make your way into the courtroom at once.
We're on our way.
Oh, we're actually transitioning. I was expecting to have a dialogue or two with Iris or something. Nope, just jumping in here. Okay. I also realized. Right? Got a hiccup. Let's see. OBS hiccup. Refresh. I always seem to forget how to spell fresh. Refresh? Refresh, okay. Refresh if needed. There we go. Because the video may not be good, but... Yes, I see that. Thank you. Okay. Oh boy, today is hectic. Okay, I'm just not going to mess with that right now. I don't know if that was my bad or the actual OBS. Let's just move on.
An experiment that the laws of science say can't possibly succeed. And a scientist who's convinced that it did. That's the riddle you have to unlock here, Ryunosuke. That is the key to this case.
Yeah. Okay. How is Van Ziek's going to do this? I'm curious how he's reacting. I don't remember. I'm like, how is he gonna handle this? I have a vague recollection. He's not too different, but he might be a little different in more subtle ways. So I'm like, what is going to happen?
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are sitting today for the public trial of Professor Albert Harebrayne.
Is this like a pun off of all Harebrayne? Or something? Oh, Albert Harebrayne. Albert Harebrayne? I'm not sure what the pun exactly is there, but I know it does involve Harebrayne.
I now call upon the counsels for the prosecution and defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
Oh, hi, vampire. He's full vampire today, isn't he? This is full vampire. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah. Throat's all scratchy today. That's rather annoying. Rather unfortunate. Ah. Okay. I need to go. Give me a second. Oh, jeez. I thought something. Sorry. I'm back. Prosecution is ready. Ready to take a nap in your cape, it looks like. That's what it looks coming back. I'm like, you know, I know he's doing that little vampire cape pose thing, but he also looks like he just wants to burrito himself and take a nap. Or is that just me? I don't know. Sleepy time vampire. I guess, you know, actually bats do that. That's why vampires do that. They're copying bats. He is in the sleepy time pose. Sleepy time vampire pose. The vampire wants a nap, Your Honor. I'm sorry, that was a lot of words. The defense is ready, my lord. I'm 6 months out of practice. I want some more. Zato and Iris is not here. But yeah, you're thinking mostly of Zato.
I'm without Susato-san today. Is it just my imagination? Or does the air in here feel even more oppressive than usual? So, I must say I recall the victim of this case all too well, Mr. Odi Asman. Mr. Asman was well known as a financier, though that was merely a front for his diverse criminal activities. It was only a month ago that the man appeared in court, prosecuted by you, Lord Van Zieks. But the jury unanimously found him not guilty. As every member of the jury had been bribed, by the sound of it. These powerful London criminals are prepared to go to extreme lengths to keep their freedom.
Yep. No surprise there.
But 2 days ago, on the 21st October, Mr. Asman met his end. The work of the Reaper, was it?
That's how your lordship would describe divine retribution. But the fact remains that Mr. Asman's death was a direct result of the actions of the accused, Professor Harebrayne.
Very well, then. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you have been selected at random to represent the will of the people. Are the 6 of you ready to fulfill your societal duties? I am most gratified to have been selected to carry out this important civic duty, my lord.
All new faces.
To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly. It sends shivers down my spine.
Oh my gosh, look at that lady's necklace. She has an outfit, that's for sure. Oh. You look like you'd be a charlatan at the fair that we just came from. Is that just me? Is that just me? Oop. Okay. Oop. Hold up. Alright. Ah. Let's see. What voice do I give this guy? Oh dear.
Science experiments, magic, conjuring tricks, courtroom trials, all are nothing more than performances. He's got little... Wait, he's a vampire magician. He's got a little coffin pendant and bats. Van Zieks! Your look is getting stolen. Halfway. We got 2 vampires. We need a vampire fight. Anyway. No silliness. Any scrupulous scholar that defiles the reputation of science deserves to be hanged. We have to listen to what's said on both sides, defense, and, settle on one. That's it, isn't it?
Why is there a child in the jury? Is there no laws to not have children? Oh, it's the guy from Madame True Spells. Hi. Oh, I was about to say, did he just die? And nope, we're good. We're good. Oh, you know what? I just realized. Okay, hold on, let me... I think it should be... Yeah, there. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I'm like, I just realized something for the audio. I'm like, wait, let me do something. I noticed I kept going in the right. I'm like, why is it doing that? I'm like, oh, I need to turn something down. Okay. That should help with your ears. Wasn't like this in my day. Wasn't like this at all. Hello there.
That's the police killer Otomo lookalike. Again. And he's as exhausted as ever, it seems.
Indeed.
Now, as I'm sure you're all aware, the incident we are here to judge today tragically took place at the Great Exhibition shortly after its opening. The death toll could have been far worse. With the exception of the victim, no one was killed. Nonetheless, the dream of the science being exhibited rapidly turned...
Okay, wait.
Okay, nonetheless, the dream of the science being exhibited rapidly turned into a nightmare for the spectators. A tragic turn of events, and as such, the eyes of all London, no, of the world, will be on this trial. It is our duty to reach a swift and just conclusion, I feel. So, your opening statement, please, Lord Van Zieks.
At the heart of this incident is technology never before demonstrated anywhere in the world.
One of science's latest developments, I take it. The government is keen to capitalize on the Great Exhibition to improve Britain's technological advancement.
I keep glaring every time I do the voice. Why do I glare when I do the judge's voice?
The technology being demonstrated by the accused is described as super high voltage instantaneous kinesis.
That is the slowest I've ever read that.
Good lord!
It's designed to disassemble human subjects using extremely high voltage electricity and beam them instantaneously to another location where they are subsequently reassembled.
Is such a thing even within the realm of possibility?
No. Not that I know of. Without magic.
Well, I don't believe it, that's for sure. Disassembling people with electricity. My goodness, how shocking.
I see that pun.
Ha! The whole idea is absurd. The hypothesis would never stand up to scrutiny.
Character commentary through expression. I'm not commenting on the judge's character. It's like I start focusing and I'm like I start glaring because I'm okay.
Sir, I believe you are a fellow of the Royal Society. What?
Nope, read that wrong.
Sir, I believe you are a fellow of the Royal Society, are you not? Are you an expert in your field? I am. My word on the matter can be considered final. Instantaneous kinesis is poppycock.
So this expert and Mr. Shrooms are in agreement. It's impossible. What is the prosecution's view on the matter?
The prosecution would assert that the accused's instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a success.
What? What rot?
Are you being nice to your friend, Ben Ziek? Order! Order!
The professor's hypothesis is currently under investigation by the British government. If it is deemed to have merit, a substantial research grant would be made available. The accused made use of the invention built on his new hypothesis to take Mr. Asmon's life in order to be the sole benefactor of the grant. But this disastrous demonstration was no accident. It was carefully designed from the outset to end the life of the victim.
Well, okay then.
Thank you, Laura Van Zieks. The prosecution's stance is clear. But you will now bring forth witnesses to substantiate your claims.
Gladly, my lord.
Oh, cake the wall. Strike a pose. Okay, him wearing that, it reminds me, this man has a big brother. We just found out that was last stream? Yeah, he's got an older brother. Clint. He got an old, well, had. He died 10 years ago. 10 years ago, Clint got murdered. And Van Zieks was obviously not okay with that. Not okay at all. Hello.
Bailiff, show the first witnesses to the stand.
Oh, two. Plural. I see the plural. Oh, hi, Harebrayne. And it's Gregson! I don't know why I'm always so happy to see Gregson, but I am.
Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court.
Yes, sir! Tobias Gregson, Detective Inspector at Scotland Yard's Homicide Division. Was on duty at the demonstration on the day in question, and in charge of the following investigation.
Oh, there. I was about to go. Albert, hello. Okay. That was a lot. You gonna be okay there, Albert? I already know the answer. The answer is no.
Albert Harebrayne, the scientist.
You were born in England. You've been carrying out research in Germany in recent years, correct?
Yes, that's right. After graduating from the university here in Britain, I went to work in Germany, and it made an amazing discovery. Which is what brought me back. I had to demonstrate my incredible hypothesis at the Great Exhibition. What you demonstrated was incredible, alright. An incredible explosion. But the science was a success. The instantaneous kinesis worked. Everyone saw it. They must have done. Yes, there was a terrible accident, but the demonstration of my hypothesis was a success.
He is. You just let Harebrayne go and he just goes.
Well, that much is undeniable, as shown in this photograph taken by the forensic investigation team.
Ew.
Grim. This was taken inside the Crystal Tower, I take.
Oh wait, this is a judge. My bad.
This was taken inside the Crystal Tower, I take it. The centerpiece of the exhibition, no less. That's right, my lord.
Seems the victim rammed straight into it. I see. Very well. Submit the photograph as evidence. Yay, we got more evidence. Though it's a photograph, so there's not real much point in looking at it right away. I mean, we could examine it more, but it's kind of like we gotta piece the photograph, the evidence from the photograph together. You don't... Oh, how to say... Wait. Where was that? I just realized. I know there's an option. I want to make sure it's off. Sorry. Again. New stuff. I'm like, No, okay, we're good. Alright. Back to the game. As the courts heard, the victim of the incident was Mr. Odie Asman. There have been a number of allegations made against the man, but putting them aside for the time being. He was the man who financed the research for the experiment and the demonstration itself. I see. So to summarize the situation, the defendant is accused of taking the life of the man who funded his work. Would that be correct? Exactly. But wouldn't it be that the explosion was caused by some malfunction in the apparatus used for the demonstration? That's right! It must be it! My splendid machine! My poor splendid machine! Saw it yesterday, didn't you? We can't even examine the wreckage thanks to the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. I enjoy that. Yeah. Funny naming the characters in this game. Indeed. It's even... The mainline series is even better at it. This game tends to make more, references to Sherlock Holmes characters than Ace Attorney usually does. Oh, jeez. I could say a few, maybe a couple of them off the top of my head, but I won't bother. But yeah, they have on the Switch the trilogy, Phoenix Wright trilogy, and the Apollo Justice trilogy. So you can play through all 6 games on the Switch. Of the mainline games, that is. The mainline games. There is the Great Ace Attorney here, 2 Miles Investigation games, and then the crossover with Professor Layton. Those are all the Ace Attorney games. And I've played every single one of them, I think. Well, partly for Apollo Justice. I did actually start that. No, I haven't actually played the Miles, the Edgeworth games. That was it. I'm like, no, that's not quite right. I played the other ones. Actually, yeah, I've now played at least in part, all the ones that you do trials in. Because Edgeworth doesn't actually have trials. You do have debates, but you don't have like a proper in-court, have a trial, that kind of thing. Anyway, moving on. Mechanic, oh wait, yeah. So you've read this? Read that? That was a... It exploded here! Hold on. What? The wreckage! The wreckage?! Yes, it exploded here, right? What do you think was going to happen? That being the case, how can the facts be established? How can it possibly be determined whether this was an accident or a deliberate and malicious act? Extremely simply, my lord. I beg your pardon? Isn't that right, witness? What? Sorry, me? No, your neighbor. I'm sorry, there's just something really amusing about Van Ziek grabbing the bridge of his nose at his friend. Because Harebrayne there is Van Ziek's friend. Least we forget. Yes, sir. It was murder, plain and simple. Anyone could state that with complete sincerity. I mean... Ryanosuke, we just got a photo. The man's been stabbed. Clearly been stabbed. And there's blood on the harness. So it happened when he had that on.
like a blood splatter. Anyway. The man's clearly been stabbed, Ryunosuke. Look at your evidence, you dingus. I love you, Ryunosuke. I'm just... Anyway. He is out of practice. Come on. Let's go, buddy.
What? How can you possibly think that?
Look at the photo.
Thank you, Inspector. I think we had better proceed to formal testimony. You will explain to the court on what grounds you claim this experiment to have been a front for murder.
Murder. Sometimes I hear the word murder and it's just murder, the cat kid does. From Hat in Time. Front for murder. The corpse that went crashing through the Crystal Tower had a broken neck. That's not too surprising. It did crash through a building. I made a minor miscalculation in the angle of the beam projection, that's all. It was my mistake. Post-mortem examination revealed another injury. A fatal wound. There was a lesion in his chest where he clearly had been stabbed by something sharp, right in the heart. So the victim was killed before he went anywhere. And this fella's the only one who could have done it. Ooh. So wound made... before he went anywhere. Wait, how did they know that? Well, probably the same way I did. Anyway, moving on.
An extraordinary business. In addition to suffering a broken neck, the victim was stabbed in the heart.
That's not where your heart is, despite people saying that. That's where a main artery is. That's why you can feel your pulse easily. Your heart's still in the middle of your chest. If it's anywhere else, that's a serious medical issue. Oh boy. Anyway.
Information I would really like to have heard from someone other than the judge.
The coroner says death would have been all but instant from the wound like that.
You could say, in fact, the victim was killed twice by the accused.
Oh, no and no! That couldn't be further from the truth! I have here the experiment plan document that was submitted to the security team. Okay. Little top hat. They didn't need to add the top hat, but there's the top hat! That's so silly. I like it. I'm glad they did. The victim stood himself inside something called the birdcage, ready to be beamed instantaneously. Oof. Oof. To the second level of the Crystal Tower, about 25 yards away.
The experiment did not go according to plan, however.
Oop.
The machine was put into operation. There was a large explosion. The blast caused the beam transmitter to point higher than intended.
Oop. Up we go.
Accordingly, the kinesis resulted in the birdcage materializing in mid-air, from where it was subsequently fell, crashing through the glass of the Crystal Tower's large round window.
Oh, so it has a little ledge, and it crashed through the upper window ledgy bit.
My word! One assumes the victim's neck was broken upon impact with the tower then.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. The machine was just too powerful. But honestly, really, I swear, it was just an accident, a terrible accident.
Fortunately, that excuse can't save you.
No, not considering the sheer murder weapon that pierced the victim's heart. Murder weapon? What are you saying?
This is the autopsy report submitted by the coroner. The prosecution would like it entered into the court record.
Your request is granted, counsel. Autopsy report, definitely want to read that. Oh, what was it? Oh yeah, if you go like peas and carrots, rutabaga, it makes a good murmuring sound in the background. There's actually a few things like that, just people saying random things like that on repeat to make the murmurs like that. So I'm like, I'm rather curious if that's what people are doing, or are they actually having conversations in the background for this little audio clip? I don't know why that pops into my head of all times. I was there in person, you know. I saw the whole ludicrous performance. The only other person on stage was Mr. Asman. Was that disgraceful excuse for a scientist?
Then really, by all accounts, it must have been him.
Huh. Hard to think otherwise, really.
Very well. Counsel for the defense. Proceed with the cross-examination, please.
Oh, yes, my lord. I need to focus here.
Back.
It's been a while.
Yeah, 6 months. Let's go! And you don't have help. We're on our own. Mano y mano. Vampire versus exchange student. Who will win? The results will surprise you. Okay, silliness aside. Let's see, what was the Dalek again? Yeah, crashed the Crystal Tower. Miscalculation. Examination. Got hurty hurt. I say that as if it wasn't a mortal wound. He got mortally wounded would be a better phrasing. Anyway. Grabbing my own bridge of my nose at my own self. Victim was killed before you went anywhere. I'm not too sure if pressing on a hairbrain is going to be useful this round. Okay. Who's most likely to get info? There's mention. Okay, maybe this one.
Hold it!
Your murder get mentioned what the murder weapon is.
The defense knew nothing of this crucial information.
Prosecution received this report from the forensic investigation team only this morning. It was the first we knew of it as well. I can only apologize for the impossibility of informing the defense.
Sarcastic and insincere?
Thanks. Ryanosuke does not appreciate your sass, Fancy.
So, what was the nature of this sharp object?
One of the accused's tools that were in use at the demonstration. One is of particular interest. This.
Yes, that would appear to be some kind of screwdriver, wouldn't it,
I'm not doing that. He starts laughing manically and go, there he is! I'm not doing that laugh. My trusty little companion, Andrew!
Andrew? Of course.
Oh, now he's doing the weird. Do you know each other already? He's one of my dear friends, like all my tools. I named them all, you know? We're one big happy family. Is this a daycare? There's a joke to be made here, but I have no words right now. Moving on. I'm like the judge right now. Andrew is my flathead screwdriver, of course. His brother, Michael, is a crosshead.
Well, it would appear that your beloved Andrew has a red stain on his shank.
Ah, that isn't...
They're talking about there being blood on this thing, and the silly music is still playing. I love this game series. Oh boy.
It's blood. Beyond reasonable doubt.
Oh. And that's not all. The long, sharp shape of this Andrew fella is completely consistent with the victim's wound. What? What? Yeah, I saw that coming. Order, order! The court will enter this friend of the defendant as evidence. Professor Harebrayne's trusty screwdriver that he's named Andrew. Andrew's a murderer! No! Okay. There are traces of blood at the tip and it matches the shape of the victim's wound. Okay, let me go look at that. Get the autopsy report. Actually, let me see if there's any more information in this. Okay, autopsy report. Coroner Courtney Sith? Seth? Sith? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I think it's Sith? I'll go with Sith. Details of victim. Name Odie Asman, male, age 47. Nationality British. Time of death 21st October around 2:20 p.m. Okay, so there's any time shenanigans. 2:20 p.m. Well, if there's any questions about order of events and all that. Cause of death, hemorrhage of a wound to the chest that pierced the heart, inflicted by a sharp implement. Additional observations. Broken vertebra, most likely resulting from the impact after a sudden fall from a considerable height. Okay. So we have two absolutes. Man's been stabbed, and man fell from a great height. Cool. I guess. As far as that sort of thing, I more have understood. Alright. Look at Andrew here, I guess. Oh yeah, that's definitely a lot of blood.
This is blood. Mr. Asman's, no doubt. This is the problem with looking at murder weapons.
Aw. Poor Inosuke. He's like, eh. Bloody thing. Alright. Doesn't got much to say.
So one of the Professor Harebrayne's tools is the murder weapon.
Seems so.
Great.
Okay, so that did get us that. Are you went anywhere? Yeah, okay, so we got this one. This is the one where we got the tips. Okay. Post-mortem examination rate and other injury. I'm not sure if we need to press on that. Probably got all there is to know. Minor miscalculation of the beam. I don't think that's what happened. Huh. Okay, wait. Got this. Is there any contradictions right now? Yeah. No. Crashing through the crystal tile is probably what happened. Also, I mean, got the crime scene photo. You can see little bits and pieces of the broken glass or whatever the crystal tower is made from, because I doubt it's actually, you know, crystal. That would take so much crystal. Oh my gosh. Also, wouldn't crystal glass be heavier? Maybe? Is crystal glass heavier? I'm not sure, sir. I'm not sure. Moving on. Minor miscalculation. What do you mean minor miscalculation? I don't think that's really it. Okay, let's just press this last one and then also might do the loop around dialogue.
Hold it!
What grounds do you have for saying that?
Ah! Did you really need to ask? There were only two people on that public experimentation stage, in front of the whole crowd.
The victim, Mr. Odie Asman, and the accused, Professor Harebrayne. And we know for certain that before the experiment, the victim was alive.
That's right. Saw him with my own eyes.
Furthermore, following the explosion and kinesis, nobody went anywhere near the body.
In other words, only someone else on stage with...
Scott!
Hi, Harebrayne. What do you have to say?
Excuse me!
What is that?
Professor Harebrayne,
You have some information that may be relevant here.
Harebrayne. Professor! Oh, yeah, I got him. Why? Okay. Ah! Sorry! Sorry! Oh, jeez. I was just calculating the optimum coefficient of the electrolysis to separate molecules in the human body.
A witness stand is the best place for that? It seems as though you might have something to say about Inspector Gregson's last remark.
Ah! And off he goes. Oh, okay. Yes! Yes, that's right, of course! He just said that nobody else could have done it, didn't he? Yeah, that's right. Who else could have stabbed the victim, eh? I don't know, but there's no way I could possibly have stabbed Mr. Asman, as you say. Eh?
Explain, please, Professor.
Of course, this cold-hearted policeman may not be aware, I suppose. The humans are warm-blooded mammals with blood running continuously through their veins. I had heard. There, surely you see. If I plunged something the size of Andrew into a man's chest, the whole stage would have been a bloodbath. No, a blood swimming pool. Ah, but thousands of Londoners were watching me at the time. And yet not one of them claims to have seen a swimming pool of blood. Well, no, I suppose not. You see? Not one. True. I didn't see anything like that.
Well done, Professor. That was a great counter-argument.
Apparently, our co-defendant is going to be Harebrayne himself. Well, defense counsel, not defendant. Defense counsel. What am I saying? He is the defendant. Co-defense. It's not defendant. Co-defense. Blah. Order! Order! Defense does not seem to care about this revelation.
Pray forgive the discourtesy if I savor a drop from my hollow chalice to accompany my old friend's adduction. Here's to you, Albert.
Oh, you're too kind, Barack. But I'm not really a patch on you. Oh, geez.
No, you're not.
No?
You've neglected to mention one crucial possibility.
I have?
Particular situation in which very little bleeding would result from a stab wound.
Ah, of course.
Inspector, enlighten the court, please.
Yes, sir.
Where are they going with this?
I don't know. I don't remember. Nor do I know about that kind of thing. Very well. You will amend your formal testimony now, Inspector Gregson. What are you on about now? The weapon the victim... The weapon the victim was stabbed with must have been left in his body whilst he was beamed through the air. Okay, now we have a contradiction. Hold on, I should save. Also, in case I botch this somehow. I don't think I will. But I also been playing for an hour. I probably should save so we don't have to redo things in case something goes wrong. Because he doesn't have the tool, which... in him. Oh yeah, we found this on the stage yesterday. It was stuck in something, so it wasn't... yeah, definitely.
Objection!
Ah. No, that... okay, no, that's not the right. Alright, we'll just load this. We don't need to hear through the dialogue. Safety save? Yeah, pretty much. I'm like, always save. But he didn't have the tool in him. How do I get that said? Maybe I have to press on the statement first. Let me try.
Why would you think that, Inspector? With any wound, it's only when you pull the weapon out that the profuse bleeding occurs. Whilst it's still lodged in the body, it acts as a stopper of sorts, for want of a better word. Oh wait, do I actually give the autopsy report? Hold on. Because, oop, yeah. Hemorrhaging of a wound to the chest pierced the heart. Oh, it doesn't say internal or external. Okay, nope. I'm not sure if that would work. Well, we'll continue. Okay, what's this? Yeah.
I see.
Haven't we had a case where this was brought up before Ryunosuke?
You don't need a medical degree to be aware of this fact. It's common knowledge for any investigator.
Ugh. There's Susato-san when you need her.
If you ask me, this bloke masked what he was doing from Pew with his body before stabbing Asman in the chest. Then he beamed the victim off the stage with his fancy device. The screwdriver's still where he planted it. I would never do such a thing. Not to my precious tools. I never use them for such dirty work. You only use tools for their intended purpose. That's common knowledge for any scientist.
The fact remains, the lack of blood on the scene can easily be explained, as the prosecution has demonstrated.
Are you sure about that?
So that's all the testimony I have to work with. I have no idea I had no idea the victim had been stabbed. That changes everything. Did Banzix keep that to himself until now, on purpose, to gain the advantage?
No, I don't think he does that.
Oh well, I suppose all I can do is press these witnesses for as much new information as possible.
Yeah, okay. No. Anything else I can do? Say. Yeah, because what we have is here. Yeah, it shows an apparent stab wound to the chest. Maybe I need a... brain the heart. The weapon the victim's stab must have been left in his body. Oh, maybe I show the screwdriver itself? Because Ryunosuke and Iris found it on the stage? Well, saw it on the stage.
Objection!
Nope. I'm not sure what to do here. Okay. I guess we'll press on to other statements. Maybe I'm missing something. Okay, we've done that. Didn't get anything new. That got us the screwdriver. Haven't done this one.
Another fatal injury, you say? Doesn't make any sense.
I didn't think we'd have to spell this out, but here we go. Just because there are 2 fatal wounds doesn't mean that I'm saying the victim had 2 lives to lose, does it?
You're right.
Obviously, at first, we thought the bloke had died due to his spine snapping in half as well.
But you're saying that's not the case.
You'll get your answers once I finish my fish and chips. You don't keep butting in every few seconds.
We all know that's a bottomless bag.
Yeah, he has a magic bag of fish and chips.
Victim plummeted 30 feet into a glass tower. It would be reasonable to assume that that's the cause of death.
Right, that's what we all thought, but it was a red herring, wasn't it? So it was 30 feet? Interesting. Okay, yeah, we got that. Do you have something out of Harebrayne?
The angle of the projection is critical, is it? And you calculated it yourself, personally.
Absolutely! The calculation is far too complicated for anyone but me to carry out. Only you got it wrong, didn't you? Yes, that's right. That's the point. The calculation was so complicated, even I can make a mistake.
Do people fall for that brazen confidence? I should try it.
I took into account the subject's height and weight, and the wind direction, the ambient temperature. I considered every possible variable, so I just don't understand how this could have happened.
Why not?
Obviously, then. You had to include the weight of the clothes Mr. Asman was wearing at the time, I suppose.
Ah! Crackling comments! The answer should have been 3!
So much for safety first. 3 must be for safety third.
And I don't think we got... Whoop! Corpse that went crashing through the tower.
Hold it!
Do that.
Are you suggesting that's because he fell from a considerable height?
Exactly. Which highlights something else about this whole rum business.
What's that?
The fact that the instantaneous kinesis itself was an excess.
Ah! After the explosion, the cage that the fella inside... Oh, the cage with the fella inside suddenly appeared out of nowhere in midair. So although the experiment ended in disaster, the so-called instantaneous kinesis did actually occur.
Remind us, Professor. What was the cause of the fatal disaster?
I do have something. Huh. What am I not getting? I tried this. Did I try this? I don't remember.
Objection!
No, the music still hasn't cut out. I don't think this is one that has a fake out, does it? It shouldn't have a fake out. What am I supposed to present here? I'm not sure. The victim was stabbed with what must have been... The weapon the victim was stabbed with must have been left in his body with spewed through the air. I mean, there's the only thing I can exam-wise is... Oh. Okay, I didn't examine this. Do I need to examine this to use it?
I've seen this unusually shaped handle before.
Oh, okay, yeah, we had to do this. Okay, I got it!
The same as the screwdriver that was lodged in the grill on the floor of the kinesis machine. Could be important information, so I should definitely make note of it.
Yeah. Okay, now we can do the thing. Ah, gosh. I didn't notice that lit up before. Sorry for wasting time.
Objection!
Okay. Yeah, there we go.
You say that while the weapon remains in the body, there's very little bleeding. Is that unequivocal?
Look, there's no blood on the equipment. Wait, there's no blood on the experimentation stage, even though that's where the fellow was stabbed. The only explanation for that is if the screwdriver was still in his body, stopping any heavy bleeding.
It's common medical knowledge, my learned friend, even on your side of the world.
Yes, but about the screwdriver? The thing is, we actually saw it at the scene ourselves, on the experimentation stage.
What?
It was on the floor by the wreckage of the machine, poking through a metal griddle. I went to pick it up, but the detective here stopped me. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson?
Ah, well, now you come mention it, yes.
Inspector, are we to understand that you permitted the defense counsel to investigate? That you contravene the special dispensation for the Scientific Equipment Act?
No, not at all. I wouldn't do that. I just let him look, nothing more. It was very clearly he wasn't to touch a thing.
Yes, that's true. The screwdriver was in plain sight, on the stage. But it shouldn't have been, should it?
What are you getting at?
This tool had still been in the victim's body when the victim was beamed away by the machine. And it shouldn't have still been on the stage.
Ah! I could have told you that with the freaking photo. Game wide.
That's right. It should have been beamed across to the Crystal Tower along with Mr. Asman. But found still lodged in the victim's chest.
Ugh. Wah! Order? How do you explain this, Inspector? I don't...
Looks as though everything that the victim had on his person moved with him when he was beamed. But the screwdriver was still in his chest when the instantaneous kinesis occurred. Obviously, that should have been beamed to the destination as well. This is a strange situation. Though people are saying that this instantaneous kinesis is a scientific impossibility, we're still basing arguments on the assumption that it did actually take place. Alright, time to tighten the screws here. My lord, but the prosecution is unable to explain this inconsistency in its argument. We can only conclude that the testimony given in support cannot be relied upon.
He's so cranky.
Lord Van Ziek says, "Stop."
Oh my gosh. Who is screeching? Hi. Do you have something to say, witness? Yes, I knew it. It bears out. The equations hold. Mr. Naruhodo, don't worry.
About what?
Without delving into the details, there is no inconsistency.
What?
Even if Andrew had been lodged in Mr. Asman's chest, my trusty tool wouldn't have moved. Andrew remaining on the stage is consistent with my calculations. What? What? Goodbye, bottle. Did he throw that because he wanted to throw that at his friend's face? Oh, jeez. I wonder what Van Ziek is thinking. Does he want his friend to be... I mean, I would assume he would want Albert to be innocent. I mean, Van Ziek is very intense and very rude to Naruhodo, but as far as I can tell, he's pretty polite to everybody else. Okay, well, he doesn't like Japanese people for some reason, but he's more or less polite to everyone else. And not Sherlock Holmes. Or, well, Herlock Holmes. But that's because Herlock is, a lot of a lot, so I'd understand why he wouldn't always be happy to see him. Oh, jeez. Discount Vampire is a drama boy. He is. He is. He's very dramatic.
It would seem your illusions have been shattered. Clearly, we should hear the accused's explanation. Should I say, this brilliant scientist's explanation?
Just when I found an inconsistency in the prosecution's argument.
Scientist. Ryunosuke's not happy.
Very well. The defendant will testify again. Provide us with a scientific explanation as to why the inconsistency asserted by the defense fails to hold.
In the name of Apollo, I will, my lord. Is that a reference to Apollo Justice? I mean, it's not completely weird that he'd be referencing Apollo. Apollo is the god known to be... how to put it? He does have some ties to justice and stuff. I believe he functionally acts as a defense attorney in something. So Apollo does have some ties to defense attorneys in particular. Or some such. I'm not familiar with that particular thing, so I can't really say much more besides that I have heard of that. Anyway, what is Harebrayne up to now? The inconsistency explained. To be clear, I'm still at the stage of gathering data in my research. My hypothesis states that the kinesis cannot transport metal. Hence, the metal weapon would have stayed put. In other words, the point just raised by Mr. Naruhodo isn't an inconsistency at all. Mr. Asman was the patron of my research. Without him, my work wouldn't have been possible. Now I have a duty to protect the incredible machine that we built together. Poor Ryunosuke. Does that mean there was no metal on Asman? I mean, wouldn't his glasses have metal on them? Is that not metal? Anyway. So, the thrust of your testimony, Professor, is...
Based upon his hypothesis, metal objects cannot be moved by this method of instantaneous kinesis.
Okay, you know, come to think of that, if metal can't be moved, that's a big problem. There's iron in blood. That is a metal. Do they know that at this time? Anyway. In other words,
since the screwdriver is made out of metal, even if it remained lodged in the victim's chest, its subsequent discovery on the stage, despite the victim being found elsewhere, is not an inconsistency.
And therefore,
Professor Albert Harebrayne could still have been the killer.
the great hypothesis holds, you see. We had to make the cage. We had to make the cage used to contain the subject from wood for that very reason. I was not addressing you, witness.
Professor Harebrayne?
Yes?
Whose side are you on here?
I don't take sides, Mr. Naruhodo. No. My only interest lies in upholding my hypothesis. I'm a scientist, after all. I'm not sure if that's a good thing in a scientist, to be honest. If your hypothesis gets disproven, you figure out why and make a new one. I mean, that's how it's supposed to go.
Is he working for us or against us? Very hard to tell.
Let's see how you cross-examine this testimony, my Nipponese friend.
I kind of feel like that's either a challenge or him going, figure something out because my friend is an idiot, and I feel like it's both. Yes, fire away, Mr. Naruhodo. Okay, then. Oh, jeez. Why are you like this, Harebrayne? To be clear... Oh, why am I trying to read this again? I've already read it. Okay. Stage of gathering data on my research. Is there anything really obvious? My hypothesis states... metal... didn't consist at all. Okay, let me talk about Asman more. Maybe we'll get some more information in a roundabout way.
How did you come to know Mr. Asman in the first place?
Oh. He has a book. That's a new animation. A year ago now, a small provincial science journal published a little paper about my work.
At the scientific journal?
Good gracious. I should need new spectacles. I might have an extraordinary hypothesis and great promise, but at the time I had no money.
I had to eat tiny little meals at a tiny little cafe and drink watered down water out of a tiny little glass. That's a lot. Okay. Mr. Asman read the paper and came to visit me at my tiny little laboratory.
And offered you money to help fund your work.
Exactly! That's exactly what happened. I handled the theoretical side of things, and Mr. Asman provided me with an engineer for the practical. And the three of us produced that fantastical machine together.
The machine that you brought to the Great Exhibition to demonstrate.
We had to apply to the government for some sort of inspection to be allowed to exhibit, I think. I didn't understand all that side of things. Mr. Asman took care of it all. He was a wonderful man, really. I owe him everything. Okay, we'll just go examine.
Hold it!
And yet your retort to my argument wasn't lacking in confidence in any way.
No scientist can find the truth without first finding self-belief. Those were the words of a certain scientist I hold in the very highest esteem.
You realize that disproving my argument puts you in a very precautious position, don't you?
No scientist should strive to protect himself more than he strives to protect the truth. More words of the same great scientist, you know.
Words that are causing me a lot of trouble. Who is the scientist?
I'm afraid I couldn't tell you, Mr. Naruhodo. But as soon as I remember the magnificent genius's name, you'll be the first to know.
It might be worth keeping the names of your idols to mind.
You're wasting your breath, my learned friend. Scatterbrain even forgets my name at times.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, Lord Van Zieks really did have a friend once. I didn't notice hell fizzing over.
It does, every winter. It's a town in Michigan, if I remember correctly. The state of Michigan. That's a state of the United States of America. Look it up! It's funny. If everyone's like, when hell freezes over, you can be like, okay, so next winter in the US of United States of America, wintertime then, hell will freeze over. It's quite cold there. It gets into the negatives degrees Fahrenheit, and that's saying something. Okay, what do we have to say about metal?
Your hypothesis states it, so this isn't proven then.
No, of course not. It's merely a hypothesis, but a good one, based upon thousands of calculations. But it is widely known that metal can't be decomposed by electrolysis. Yes, of course, so I am right. My hypothesis is clearly correct.
What is it about incriminating himself that makes this man so happy?
It's the whole reason that the birdcage is made of wood, you see.
Sorry, the birdcage?
Yes, that's what I call the Hold up. That's what I call the C. obtusa cage, which Mr. Asman was placed for the kinesis. Ah, the jail cell in which the victim was detained. It does indeed seem to be made of timber of some sort.
I thank you not to refer to it as an instrument of incarceration, your lordship.
In short, any weapon lodged in the victim when he was beamed away by instantaneous kinesis would have been left behind on the stage if it was made of metal, correct?
Yes, that's it. Yes. It fits perfectly with the mathematical model. The ultimate conclusion, then, is that the defendant alone had the opportunity to inflict this fatal injury on the victim, is it not? Ah, indeed, sir.
Someone beam me out of this nightmare.
Ryunosuke confirmed does not want to be here. Okay, this is...
Hold it!
You seem to be pleased by that.
Yes! Another example of my hypothesis holding true. But I sense some sarcasm, Mr. Naruhodo. Are you not pleased?
No.
I knew it. At the end of the day, I'm the one responsible for Mr. Asmon's losing his life. The advancement of scientists is no excuse, I know that. Do you?
No, you're quite right.
Tell the court, did you have a close relationship with Mr. Asmon? Oh, well, no, not really. I mean, I only met him 2 or 3 times. We only ever discussed my hypothesis, and the project, and the research grant, of course. Okay, and then there's the last statement.
Hold it!
I haven't gotten too terribly much.
When you say that you built the machine together, does that mean that you were involved in its construction?
Yes! Well, not exactly. I'm not good with the practical side of machines myself, so the physical construction was done by an engineer.
No remains of your creation now, though, following the explosion. Repair will no doubt be impossible.
Yes, I realize that. But still, if someone were to gather all the broken parts, they could discover the secret of my hypothesis. But Mr. Asmon and I toiled over the machine for so long. We put our hearts and souls into it. Have to protect our work. But what's left in the machine must be kept safe. That's only fair. Because what happened was an accident.
That's the extent of the testimony, then. Thank goodness for that. Don't want him to do any more damage. He's already basically proven that he could have been the culprit. But it seems as though all he really cares about is defending his hypothesis. Still, I wonder, what if his hypothesis is just fundamentally flawed?
Can we prove that? Is there anything in here? No, it just says the wounds. I mean, this looks like it's metal on the glasses, but I don't know if I can actually get the game to think about that. I mean, where can I try that? I mean, I could at least try, but where? Research. Uses can't transport metal, though, hence the metal weapons stay put. In other words, it's inconsistency. It would be possible. Okay, so it would be this one, maybe? Let's save it again. Because I have a feeling I'm going to want to reload, because that is typically faster than letting the "you failed" dialogue play out. Okay, let's try the photo.
Objection!
Oh, it did cut out!
Professor Harebrayne, you say that according to your hypothesis, nothing made of metal can be beamed by instantaneous kinesis using the machine you made. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Spot on. Exactly correct.
In that case, I'd like you to have a look at this photograph that was taken at the scene. In particular, I'd like you to pay attention to the victim's face.
Hey! I was right! Look at that! I'm happy about that. I didn't think that would work, but it did.
You can clearly see Mr. Asmon is wearing a pair of spectacles with a metal rim.
What? Metal? No, metal can't. That's not... metal? No!
We've already established that the proposed murder weapon, the screwdriver, was found on the stage. However, if your hypothesis correctly predicted that outcome, it should have also predicted that the metal-rimmed spectacles would be found in the same place.
And Harebrayne's screaming. My hypothesis! My hypothesis!
Mr. Harebrayne, this isn't easy for me to say, but your hypothesis is clearly flawed.
This man's not gonna get a not guilty verdict if I don't say that he it didn't work out. Order! 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 Council! What is the implication of this?
If on the day in question, the alleged instantaneous kinesis never actually took place, then it's entirely possible that the victim was killed somewhere other than on the stage. And in that case, someone other than the defendant could have been the culprit.
But my hypothesis! My hypothesis is sound! I proved it that day. The experiment was a success. The experiment was proof of all my work. If I could say something here, in my capacity as a fellow of the Royal Society.
Yes, juror number 4, go ahead.
As a man of science, there's one thing I simply cannot abide. And that is a fraud who pretends to be a fellow man of science. What? Wait, Great Scott! Are you suggesting my science is suspect? It's just been disproven, hasn't it? In front of all of us. In other words, the whole demonstration was complete nonsense from start to finish. Believe me, my fellow jurors, when I tell you that this man is a heel, a bounder, and a fraud. Say the wreckage of the machine should be stripped down and thoroughly examined. No, never! That machine is the essence of my entire hypothesis. It's protected by the Special Dispensation Act for Scientific Equipment Act. The devil's that blasted act all about, eh? Who made up such daft rule?
I like the way this seems to be going. It's the best way for me to help the professor.
I don't know. I'm going to say. Okay. I'm like, I don't... Raise an objection?
Objection!
I don't even know if that's right.
Mr. Harebrayne has yet to perfect his invention. It would seem to be the case, yes. But even so what? Going through such trouble and expense to create a fake machine to display in public. He would have absolutely no reason to do such a thing.
Objection!
Yeah, that was the right game, of course.
He had an obvious reason to do exactly that. For the research grant money.
If the government was foolish enough to have deemed the man's ridiculous notion plausible, he and his conspirators would have received a handsome sum indeed. Conspirators?
What would be the value of such a grant? 10 pounds?
You're an order of magnitude out, madame. 500 pounds. A year. You are. You could live handsome on that much for years. The Society's noticed an increase in bogus public demonstrations in the field of science recently. And plenty of scientists argue with each other to get the largest slice of the funding cake. People's greed is plenty motive enough for murder, I assure you. No, I haven't deceived anyone. Least of all the government. My hypothesis is sound, the science is sound. Please, you must believe me.
No matter how unbelievable this hypothesis may seem to you, ladies and gentlemen, the fact remains the victim was transported instantaneously to the Crystal Tower. Which means that the experiment was a success.
I think The saying the experiment is a success is the way Van Zieks of trying to be nice to his friend? Okay. Ah, Brock!
And therefore, the only person who could possibly have committed this murder is the accused.
Ah, Brock. You were doing that yourself a bit ago. You don't get to go sad face on me now, Harebrayne.
Where is this heading? I have no idea.
My lord, if I may,
Yes, Lord Van Zieks?
prosecution would like to summon new witnesses to the stand.
New witnesses? What would be the nature of their involvement?
They were spectators of the demonstration at the exhibition, who were occupying special seats.
Eyewitnesses?
Very well. The court grants the prosecution's request. I should very much like to hear from my witnesses to the incident.
Prosecution stance is clear. This experiment was no...
I don't know that word. Hostage? Hostage? Me? Eh? Well, whatever that word is pronounced as, moving on.
The accused killed a financier victim, there on the public stage, before the very eyes of the spectators. Now, my learned friend.
Oh, yes?
It's time for you to make your own stance clear.
There's clearly a flaw in the professor's hypothesis. I can definitely see that. Where does that leave me?
We shall now take a short recess now. During which time the prosecution will prepare its new witnesses to take the stand. Wow. I just realized you can see like Van Zieks' bicep through that shirt. This man is ripped. Why is all the men in this game? I mean, Herlock Sholmes has a lot of muscle on him. Van Zieks does too. Like Ryunosuke is no slouch. Like everyone involved in B trying to find the truth ends up being buff as all get out. Like even Strongheart's buff. Apparently, if you're in court, you gotta be buff. Because you know, actually thinking on it too, even Kazuma is. Why is everyone beefy? I remember playing that the first time and being like, why is everyone so beefy? Good. In that case, court is adjourned for 20 minutes. Oh geez. I've been saying oh geez a lot today. Oh. I don't want to end it quite yet. It hasn't been 2 hours. We'll end on a weird note. Well, in between. Okay, yeah, we'll still save. Yay! We got through the first part. We got through that bit. Okay. Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Hi. Mr. Naruhodo. What on earth were you playing at just now? Or rather... what on earth were you playing at all along? My hypothesis! My amazing hypothesis! You've been picking holes in it from the start.
Ah, sorry about that.
But you promised me. You'd prove that dreaded explosion was an accident, not murder. You said you'd keep my precious invention from falling into anyone else's hands. But all you've done so far is try to undermine me.
Yes, I did make you a promise, you're right. I said that I believe in you and fight for your freedom to the very end. But I also told you that I was no scientist. I don't understand your hypothesis. The fact is, there's an undeniable flaw in your logic, isn't there?
Ah,
Yeah, but if I just run through some equations... Yes, you see, it's because my work is incomplete. Perhaps it is. Nonetheless, the man died as a consequence, didn't he? Oh! Oh no! Yeah, are you forgetting that this entire You're right. You're so right. It's all my fault. And I have no right to blame you for my failures. I'm a disaster, not just as a scientist, but as a human being. I could have told you that when I first met you, to be honest. You, you're a bit of a disaster human, I'm sorry, sad to say. You're a bit all over the place. I mean, geez. Even when I'm scatterbrained, I'm not this bad.
Well, that might be a little over the top.
I mean, if you're meaning literally disaster of a human, no. Harebrayne is not. Being metaphorical. Yeah, kinda.
While we're on the subject, what about Barack? He's being awful.
Blaming his old university friend to be a murderer, you mean?
He's a disaster, not just as a prosecutor, but as a human being.
He's doing fine as a prosecutor, Harebrayne. I will continue on that point. Disaster as a human being, I'm not too sure about.
Oh, but no, wait, he's the Reaper, isn't he? Perhaps he's not classified as Homo sapiens anymore. Or Homo sapiens?
Glad he's cleared that up.
I'm pretty sure Van Ziek is still human, remember? Harebrayne, isn't that a little bit rude?
Can I double check something with you?
Ah, yes, what?
The machine and demonstration you prepared. They were based entirely on your hypothesis, I presume. There was no trickery involved.
I drew the plans for the machine with my very own hands. Every line was painstakingly drawn with a firm belief that science is the only future. So yes, it's true that my hypothesis hasn't reached maturity yet, but please, Mr. Naruhodo, you must believe in it.
All right, Professor. I understand.
Counsel, defendant. Prosecution's witnesses are ready to take the stand. Court is about to be in session again. Make your way into the courtroom, please. Every time I see the bailiffs and I notice the one with the mustache, I keep thinking of Kurlock and how he's disguised as the one with the mustache one time, and they got really upset because nobody noticed it. He's like, I shall wear a disguise and my friends shall see right through it. Why are my friends not seeing through my excellent disguise? I'm like, you're in disguise, Kurlock, and you're actually competent in it. Unlike some people. Oh, who was the one who was bad at disguising? There's somebody in here. Anyway, moving on.
It all hinges on that demonstration. The professor's hypothesis is sound as he claims. It leaves him as the only person who could possibly have killed the victim. But on the other hand, Mr. Sholmes was adamant.
A practical implementation, such as was attempted by the professor at the Great Exhibition, was quite impossible.
So really, what should I be trying to prove here?
The truth. Which I kind of remember. Sort of. This is getting a bit hazy for me. Why do I remember the earlier episodes with the later ones, which I would have played sooner? I'm like question marks about. Like, I don't remember what happens here. Hello, courtroom. Hello, judge.
In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby reconvene the proceedings of this court. Counsels for the defense and prosecution, are you ready for the new witnesses to testify?
The prosecution is ready, my lord.
As is the defense, my lord. So, Lord Van Ziek, I believe these next witnesses saw the demonstration on the day in question with their own eyes.
Indeed, they did. As luck would have it, one of them is a police detective. The testimony you're about to hear can be considered highly reliable.
Perfect. Detective of all people.
Prosecution's stance remains unchanged. Though it ended in tragedy, the demonstration on the day in question was scientifically sound. And consequently, the sole person with the opportunity to have committed this act of murder is the only other individual to have been present on the stage at the time, the accused.
Thank you, counsel. The prosecution's position is clear. So, bring forth your witnesses now.
Bailiff, show the witnesses in. The witnesses whose proximity to the incident on the day in question will clarify the truth unequivocally.
What? Oh, hello there. You have a flame on your head? You got bandages on your head. Hi, Lestrade!
Witnesses, state your names and occupations for the court to hear.
My name is Balthazar Lune. I am the impersonado of all hot air balloons in the vicinity of the experimental stage. My name is William Gostrick Sigmund Ormston. I have come to the exhibition all the way from my home in Bohemia.
Balloon.
I'm very rich.
Apparently this is important. Indeed! Inspector Gina Lestrade, Scotland Yard. I'm a great detective. Even Erlach Schlems agrees. I was on security duty at the exhibition, and I got to go up in one of them. Okay, take two. And I got to go up in one of them balloons. It was amazing.
Gina, again?
She's got her nose in all this.
She did mention that she seen the disaster from up in a balloon, actually, didn't she? And she clearly loved every minute of it.
I'm glad Gina was having fun. I do actually like Gina quite a bit.
There were 3 balloons flying near the public experimentation stage when the incident occurred. 2 of these witnesses were in one such balloon at the time and saw events unfold from the skies above.
You make it sound like they were in the clouds. It was only an altitude of circa 60 feet. Very low. They can't say nothing if you fly too high, can ya? 60 feet, about 18 meters.
A little over half a football, American football field.
Thank you for your introductions. Now you will give your formal testimony for the court. Kindly describe exactly what you witnessed, especially those of you who had a vantage point above the stage.
Where was the kid? Was he on the ground? Because he's got a ding on his head, presumably. He's got bandages. So, like, if you got hit by debris, the view from 60 feet up.
It was an incredible... Wait, it was an indente and terrible. I'm only grateful that my balloons were not damaged. There's this huge bang from the stage, and the next second, another bang in the sky beside us. And from amid the smoke, a gate appeared out of nowhere. The cage, it fell from the sky like a stone and crashed into the crystal tower. I didn't get a good look inside the cage, but no one went near it after it crashed into the tower.
So presumably that was Mr. Asman.
A most extraordinarily collective account, I must say. Could I just clarify something? There's a detail in the witness's testimony that I've not heard any mention of until now. Specifically, that there were 2 explosions?
More precisely, 2 explosions in 2 separate places. Yes. When the demonstration began, the balloon carrying the 2 witnesses was around here. There were other balloons in the air nearby at the time, carrying other passengers as well, to be clear. Then, as power was supplied to the machine for the demonstration, the first explosion occurred. The so-called birdcage that contained the victim disappeared from the stage, and a moment later, the second explosion occurred, directly adjacent to the balloon carrying the witnesses. The birdcage appeared at the site of the explosion, subsequently to plummet down into the crystal tower.
I was very surprised. Suddenly a cage appeared before my eyes with the person inside. The bastard was so hot, but I didn't want to miss a thing, so I kept my eyes wide.
He has lots of V's in his speech.
I still have lots of money.
I don't need to know this every time you buy a balloon, please.
Precisely. Who is this curious infant?
He's definitely not infinite, Judge, but okay.
I am told he is a young noble of Bohemian royalty. Apparently, he disguised himself in order to steal unnoticed into the Great Exhibition.
Okay. Ja, I'm here in London on a sightseeing trip with my elementary school.
We will have the benefit of a child's point of view in the testimony.
Do we really need that?
Oh, hi. No mask.
When I remove my mask, this is what I look like.
You are quite cute.
Ah yes, I see. A delightful face, I'm sure. Ja, everybody says so.
Great disguise, then. The point is, the testimony of these witnesses further substantiates the fact for the court. Namely, that despite ending in an explosion, instantaneous kinesis was successfully demonstrated. Furthermore, that until the arrival of the police, no one approached the crystal tower where the victim fell.
Yep, there goes the music.
Therefore, only the accused, who was with Mr. Asman on the stage, could possibly have committed the murder.
Yes, thank you, Counsel. The prosecution's views on the matter are quite clear. So, the defense's cross-examination now, please.
Yes, my lord.
There's a lot of info in this one. The view from 60 feet up. Balloon's not damaged. Bang from the stage, and next thing another a bang in the sky beside us. The smoking cage appeared nowhere. Down the sky was like stone, it crashed from the crystal tower. You can look at the cage, but no one near it after crashed out. Okay. So that is what the witnesses are talking about. See, how are the balloons getting damaged?
There were 3 balloons flying above the experimentation stage at the time, I understand.
See.
All 3 of them, my bellissime bambini. They're very popular, signor. Some people will pay £10 for one ride.
£10?
That's more than my annual stipend.
£20 a month. That is my pocket money.
Girls have all the luck.
I got up there for free, I did. Played though I work for Her Majesty police card, you know?
Detectives have all the luck.
Mere change in profession, Ryunosuke?
If they're so popular, why would you only be operating such a small number of balloons, though?
Because if I had too many in the skies, they could crash into each other.
Operators for the balloons were decided by lots, with each operator manning a particular area.
See, in the zone above public fermentation stage is the most profitable. The other impersonarios, they hate me. Thank you, witness. I think the court has a clear picture of the arrangements for the balloon rides at the exhibition. Perhaps you could hear more about what you actually witnessed of the incident. Right! I can fill you in there, my lord. Gina! Okay.
Hold it!
Bang in the sky.
So you actually saw the accident happen from up in the air?
Yep! Isn't it amazing what a detective gets to do, eh? I'm telling ya, Odo. Being a lawyer is a mug's game. You should join the force and we can go flying together.
You know me so well.
Yes, well, anyway.
Could you tell us exactly what you saw, do you think?
Everything. We saw everything. Because we are up above it all. That dodgy cove climbing into the cage, and that dodgy professor pulling all them levers. And that's when it happened. That's when there was this massive bang and the cage disappeared. Just like that. You were describing the moment the subject's body was decomposed by electricity, I believe. I didn't know what to make of it. But there was this... But then there was another bang. Right in the air. I look around, and there was a huge, great fireball right next to us in the sky. Oop. There's nothing there before. Okay, the little kid wants to talk about something.
Master Guts, does your memory of the day differ?
Kiddo?
Main teacher at elementary school said that when you meet someone for the first time, you should always use their full name. Ah, yes, what was it again? Wilhelm Gottschalk Sigmund Armsten. Just the 4 names then. The point is, do you have something to say? Something to add in response to Detective Gina Lestrade's last remark, perhaps?
Oi! Get it right, Odo. It's Inspector Lestrade.
Why does everyone have a problem with how I address them at the moment?
I don't know.
That is not what I saw.
Oh?
Da, there was a second explosion. It was right beside our balloon. That is true. But I'm sure...
Which is what I said in it. 1 minute there was nothing. Then there was a massive explosion.
Main teacher at elementary school said that when someone else is speaking,
if you are rude enough to interrupt, that you will have the most awful life imaginable.
Are all Bohemians brought up to be so full of joy?
I mean, he was interrupted. That is rather rude. And he's also a child. I mean, give the kid a break. It's actually amazing he's not screaming and crying. He's actually pretty composed. For such a small child.
Just before the second explosion happened next to our balloon, I clearly witnessed. a green balloon flying in the sky. A green balloon? Eh? You what? I never saw nothing like that. Well, I did. I saw it, and you can't say I didn't. I will complain to the council. I will cry and scream.
Okay, now he's throwing a tantrum.
My testimony is the truth. I'm Bohemian Prince. You cannot say it's a lie. That is not allowed.
That's an interesting law you have in Bohemia.
Playing the bleeding royal card, are ya? Typical. That is the orphan who likes to remind people she works for Her Majesty's police.
Pot calling kettle black. Pot calling the kettle black.
In that case, young man, I must ask you to amend your formal testimony. In the interest of cordial national relations between Great Britain and Bohemia. It was not the sky that exploded. It was a green balloon that was next to ours at the time.
We have a scrap of that? Do we use that here? I mean, it's not a contradiction, but... I'm not sure if... You mean this?
Objection!
Nope, it's not objection. Okay. I'm like, can we use that here to get something? I don't think so, because it's not a contradiction, because we have evidence for it. So I'm like, I just want to test it out. I'm like, can I get more information if I show this? Okay, the answer is no. Not currently, at least. Okay, did we get... Okay, no. He's got this now. H film, Skylar, Santa Crash, and okay. This is one we haven't pressed before.
Did you see that actually happen? No. In reality, I did not. I saw after it hit the tower. There's a grand confusione around the stage. I ran to see what had happened.
Oh, so he was down on the ground?
I was terrorized by the idea that one of my balloons had crashed. I suppose they are his livelihood. But when I looked up to the sky, all my precious balloons were still there.
I saw it, though. I saw it slamming into the tower, after all. I'm a detective now. Good job.
And that is what you saw, Inspector Lestrade.
That's what I like to hear. She's all for this. Okay.
Hold it!
Like, can we find out for this? I believe it's the last one. Last bit of testimony we have here.
Was it you who gave the order to keep people away?
Use your head, Odo. How could I have been me? I was up in a balloon, weren't I?
Right.
So, cause I weren't available, it was the boss who had to leg it over there. He was getting shoved and kicked all over by the panicking spectators as he tried to steal off the scene. It was a real sight to behold, I can tell ya. Amazing.
Poor Inspector Gregson.
And Gregson needs a raise. And... Oop. Is that what... Oh dear. Hold on, I need to help my cat. Give me a moment. I'm back. Poor Kitty was coughing. I had to go. I think he's okay now. Hi, you're not gonna start coughing again, are you? That was pretty bad. Poor thing. Yeah. You're gonna hang out around me? Was that scary? Poor kitty. Yeah, you can stay here. Alright. Okay, so where were we? Yeah, indeed, poor kitty. Where were we? I'm like, alarmed. Understandably alarmed because my poor cat is coughing. I'm like, oh no. Okay, let's see. Did I get there? Oh, okay, so Gregson was sealing off the inspector, she was up in the balloon. Okay, yes, that was the conversation. So anyway, I couldn't see the cage that well because of all the smoke. And I didn't really want to see, to be honest. I was scared out of me wits. Keep it together, Inspector. Prosecution really is asserting that the demonstration was genuine. But what if it was actually some kind of switch-around trick instead? That would mean the victim was never actually on the stage in the first place. The 2 explosions would have thrown everyone watching into a panic for sure. I think I need to find out more about what exactly people saw at the time. It has to do with... I think... Yeah, there's a green balloon. We don't have any new evidence. Oop. But he's like, it was an incidente terrible. I'm only grateful that my balloons were not damaged. So... He had his balloon... Do I press on this again?
Hold it!
Let's see if it changed or anything. There were 3 balloons flying above the experimentation stage at the time, I understand. Yeah, he had 3 balloons. Okay, let me skip through this, see if there's anything new. Okay, yeah. Cost a lot to ride on them. Gina got up for free. They have to worry about crashing into each other. And profits. Okay. Oh, wait. We have the diagram? Did that get updated? No. Did I actually press on this? I don't remember. What did I do? A green balloon, you say? Are you sure about that? Okay, no, I don't think I have. I don't remember this dialogue. Of course I'm sure. I'm a proud Bohemian prince. All these questions are making me boring. That's not proper English, but that's not his native language. I think you mean bored. English is very annoying. The language of my countrymen is far superior. Razio, it's very wrong to lie. Lie? Flying balloons never explode. For the same reason, the plants never explode. It's logical. Please tell me that doesn't mean logical. If you insult me, you insult all of Bohemia. But I will have the army come and shoot all of you stupid balloons out of the sky. All of them. Oh no, the balloons. Also, dude, chill. Child. What are they teaching this child? Here you are, Your Highness. Only all international incidents were so easily resolved.
Now that peaceful relations have been restored here in the courtroom, perhaps we could return to the testimony. Did you also see the moment that the cage materialized, Mr. Lune? No, I did not see the explosion myself. However, I have no idea how to read that. I think that's Italian? I think they're trying to get Italian. Because it's, let's see. I know Italian and Spanish can be quite similar if you're not really familiar with them. It's one of the two, because I don't know how to spot the difference right away, but I think it's Italian. I know some Spanish, but I'm like, honestly, I'm not familiar with it enough to distinguish it from even Italian.
I'm sorry to any Spanish and Italian speakers out there who are like screaming their heads off going, it's obvious. I'm like, not to me. I don't know either. Oh boy. Okay, I need to move. I sat down weirdly and I'm cutting off circulation to my foot. Rather uncomfortable. Okay. What is the contradiction here? I mean, I could spot contradictions and stuff I want to know more about. Wait, do I use... Grateful my balloons were not damp. Do I use that scrap on here? Because, yeah, I think Iris mentioned that it's similar to the material hot air balloons make. Maybe? I don't know how that would work at this moment. I don't know if Ryunosuke would be able to put that together, but I mean, I'll give it a shot.
Objection!
Oh, that did work. Okay. Okay, good.
Mr. Lune, on your testimony, you said all 3 of your balloons you had operating at the time were undamaged. See, that is correct. If they had been caught in the explosions, it would have been terrible. I wonder if you might know what this is. Ah, I think it may be... See, part of a balloon. A burnt piece of fabric of the envelope. Envelope? Sorry, the envelope. Pardon, that is the large round part of a balloon, which becomes filled with hot air. It is made from very thick fabric lined with rubber. You do not want it to rip when you are in the sky. Just as I thought. This piece of cloth was found near the experimentation stage. In other words, as Mr. Gotts testified, a green balloon did indeed explode that day.
Eh?
All the balloons in the sky above the experimentation stage belong to you, Mr. Lune. Then your statement that they were all undamaged clearly contradicts the evidence.
Ooh. Okay. Talk about bursting of someone's bubble. Oh.
You just spent 10 whole pounds of experience.
They're all talking about the balloon. I had a feeling.
Objection!
Hi, Van Zeeks.
Spontaneous kinesis did occur. But after the explosion on the stage, point of materialization shifted to a location occupied by a balloon,
Causing the balloon to explode. Yes, imminently possible. Plausible.
and an unfortunate traffic accident, as it were. It changes nothing about the pertinent facts.
This I cannot accept. Why not, Mr. Lune? You are suggesting I am a liar. That person's died in a balloon incident.
There's no need to get fired up, Mr. Lune. The victim was the sole fatality that day.
That's right, and I prove it. Balthazar Lune is no liar. There's no such balloon in the sky. It is not impossible. You're saying that's impossible. Why?
This court has more important matters to discuss than the number of balloons that were operating that day.
Hey!
We can't ignore the fact that nobody appears to have known anything about this other balloon until now. My lord, the defense calls for further testimony from Mr. Lune. I concur. There's clearly more to the truth here than meets the eye. It's imperative that we clear up the issue of this phantom balloon, I feel. Witness, you will give supplementary testimony about the balloons you were operating at the exhibition. Ah, grazie, my lord.
Oh yeah, that's Italian. I recognize grazie.
As I said, Balthazar Lune is no liar. Every balloon I had in the sky landed safely. All 3 of my balloons were carrying passengers. If they fell to the ground in an explosion, what a catastrophe. He keeps speaking. You know, I'm just gonna read him in English if I don't get the Italian. But you can't get away from the fact that a burnt up bit of cloth was found at the scene, can ya? The coppers at the yard reckon it was probably some debris thrown from the explosion on the stage. The stupidity of Ragazzo is mistaken. My balloons have the red and blue zigzag stripes anyway. Oh. They're the wrong color, in other words. Okay. So your assertions the balloon is this child saw was not one belonging to you. See, except that I think that's extra. I'm not. I look at the. You can look at the screen. He says that. I don't even know how to pronounce that. If he saw a balloon in the first place, I do not like the sound of it. It's very bad for business. I have a good mind to sue the land of Bohemia. If you attack us, we will fight back. And it will be war, all out war. Oh gosh. He's just fighting another one. How many balloons does the guy have?
What happened to all out war?
I don't know.
The Lune certainly doesn't appear to be lying. That doesn't change the fact that the testimony and evidence are contradictory here.
The defense is unable to find fault with the witnesses' statements. The court must consider them the truth. Think long and hard on that, my learned friend.
The situation has clearly changed now. I have to get to the bottom of what happened here, no matter what it takes.
Counsel, you may now cross-examine the witnesses. Now, I think we're gonna leave it right there. Stretch cheese. That, I think, is a good ways in. I actually got a little further than I thought I would in the trial from looking at it. So, I think... yeah. I actually got a little before the summary I was looking over to make sure I knew what the base... It doesn't tell you exactly, it's just sort of like... there was an argument made for this and that. I didn't pay attention too much. You know, I still want to go in fairly new. So if I don't remember something, I can figure it out again. Because it's more fun that way. At least I think so. Yeah. It's good to be back playing the Great Ace Attorney, even if it's... ah, jeez. My mind just kind of went blank. Not gonna lie. I got a surprise. Hey, the stream won't start because things are going wonky because it's new and stuff. I'm like, what do you mean? I gotta relax a little bit during the stream. And now I'm just like, wow. I had a good time. Oh, jeez. But, me oh my. Oh. I'm trying to think what happens after that, this. But, I might be getting some interesting points. Definitely getting... Oh, I just remembered what happens at the end of this. Cool. We're in for so many treats. I hope we continue getting through more of this than I was expecting. Because, really, none of this is good. This is exciting. This is very exciting. I'm excited. I'm like, we're getting into the stuff. We're getting into the cool stuff. Well, the most interesting stuff. Because it's, you know, big final trial. Yay, all the lead up, all the payoff. Yeah, let's go. Okay. But anyway, I need a break, clearly. So I do need to end it here.
But it doesn't change the fact that I'm very grateful to any of you that come by, watch my streams live or as VODs. Doesn't matter to me. I'm just happy you spent some time and gave them a watch. And I'm also very grateful to my Mises for subscribing. And I do also appreciate likes and comments. And if you feel like subscribing too, that's cool. You can always check out my playlist to see the kind of things I play and stuff. Because I imagine if this is your first and only stream you've watched, well, you know, if it's your first, yeah, it'd be your only. So, you know, first and only stream that if you did like this, might help consider if you want to subscribe or not. If you go check out the playlist, that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, that's it for today. We'll be having Endless Ocean, Princess Peach Showtime, and more The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles later in the week, so look forward to that. And for now, I will leave you all with fond farewells of bye-bye, and I hope to see you another time.